So we have the TFS list that is basically the UNSC list or the local regulatory, the UAE local regulatory list. So these are the two lists that form a part of this requirement. What is required as a compliance officer to be able to get the updates on TFS and what is required from us, we will go through now. We've already covered which are the two lists. Are these the only two lists that we get for sanctions? No, there are many lists. So why we're going through this is there's a different requirement for different lists. Now for TFS, like we said, we have the UNSC lists and the local lists. Why do we stop terrorists? Why do we need to do this exercise and why is it so urgent? Why is there a 5-day TAT? Because all of us sitting in this room are trying to make catch up. We're trying to stop the bad guys from killing innocent people. And they can only kill innocent people if they move fast enough, if their funds move fast enough, if they get a hold of those funds. Now, when they move these funds, they've got to move it through the financial institutions. And we've got to see these trends to be able to stop them before they get a hold of these funds. So from a regulatory perspective, what is required? We should be able to get registered for these lists. We should get updates on these lists. Once we get updates, if it is a true match, you need to, so we register first. It doesn't matter what your designation is. It's a very easy registration. You go on to the EOCN website and you register for updates. You get an update on your email saying that they've added a list, added to the list, they've deleted from the list, they've added more information to a particular alert. Once you get these, you have to ensure that all your active customers are screened on a daily basis. Why do we screen on a daily basis? We've already screened them at onboarding, isn't it? So we don't know when a good guy turns bad. We need to ensure that we check daily whether a perfectly good compliance officer changed into a terrorist. As soon as we find out, we freeze funds so that we hold on to it and he doesn't get access to it. And we report it so that the regulators can tell other people in this room saying that Fran has found this, go see if you have it too. So once we identify, anyone can take us, okay, you've got a name that says, the name matches. What do you do next? We compare the two, see if the date of birth matches, nationality matches. Suppose one of the alerted party is 49 years old and your customer is 65 years old. Yes, it's not a match. So we are able to then ascertain whether it is a true match or a false match. Now, the changes that have come up in TFS is if you have a confirmed match, your date of birth matches, your nationality matches, your name matches, you immediately freeze funds. You immediately report. What if it is not a true match? I mean, it's not a 100% match, like in the earlier example that we gave you. What happens if it's not a confirmed match? Like the date of birth is not available on one platform, but you have your customer's date of birth. Then you close it as a partial match. You suspend the funds if it's a transaction, or you hold on and report it saying it's a partial match. Once the regulator comes back to you saying that, okay, freeze or don't freeze, you cancel that partial match and you raise a confirmed match onto the regulator. So those are the two changes. There is a confirmed name match and there's a partial name match, which is required for reporting under TFS. So we've got a couple of scenarios here. We've gone through this a little earlier. We got a UNSC confirmed match. What do we do? Suppose it is coming on a weekend. It's coming on Sunday morning. What is required from us? Of course, even if it is Saturday or Sunday, I'm guessing everybody screens unless it's a manual screening. But what do you do if it's a holiday or a weekend? Are you expected to come into the office and report it? No, the regulator gives us time until we come back on the next working day. But as soon as you come back on the next working day, you're expected to freeze it and report it or freeze funds as required. ownership. So you have a company and you have unwrapped that company. But there is only a percentage of that company that falls into the UNSC list or your terrorist list. What is the requirement, you think? So unless it's a majority owned, that is, it's 50% owned, it doesn't fall into this requirement of freezing funds. Or you got to still report it, but unless it's a 50%, the company does not become a part of this designated list. Sure. Yes, 50% as well, yes. But the difference, if you get an OFAC hit, you will report a SAR. Anything that doesn't fall into the UNSC list or the local list will go as a part of a SAR. It will not go as a part of this confirmed match or partial matches. So if it is 50% only, will you take this and consider this company to be a designated company? Suppose there is a person owning 35% who is designated, and the other shareholders are fine. You will freeze the funds of the person with 35%, but you will not implicate the people who are less, because there's nothing wrong with them. And the company, of course, is not designated either. To your question, if you get a match to OFAC, you will raise a SAR and not on a confirmed match or a partial match on TFS. So we've got through the partial name matches. If you have a partial name match in a transaction, or you have a partial name match with your customers, you will raise a partial name match onto the TFS, provided it is a UNSC and or a local list. And you will submit a partial name match report. The USN will revert back to you saying that, okay, you can release it or no, close it as a confirmed match, etc. A decision will be sent to you, post which you can cancel this and you can create a confirmed name match. So this we touched upon briefly. The OFAC EU UK HMT will all go as a SAR reporting. If you have any, we also have a requirement to report to our regulator saying that we have a match on this particular list, and they will also instruct you as to whatever the way forward is. So this is just a slide as to summarize everything that we went through. If it's a partial name match of an existing customer, a partial name match of a potential customer, or an existing customer, a potential customer on your books. What is the steps you will take to be able to report this and record it. Recording it in your system, monitoring it, and ensuring that you do not re-onboard these customers are also very important. Maintaining your own local lists within your company and ensuring that this is updated daily is also very important. So key takeaways, you know your lists, you know the different actions to be taken when you get these particular hits. You connect the dots when you're trying to investigate whether it is a true match or not. You've got to react really quickly, especially when it is terrorist financing. We need to protect the world and our children. And you document everything. That was my presentation. Thank you.